Hello everyone and welcome back to World of Warplanes, and this time we're going to take a look at the Tier 9 German light fighter. It is the P.1092. So this is the 109G line, so if you guys are familiar with that. We'll take a quick look at the history of this plane, run down the stats, and then I think you might be surprised with the gameplay that I got with this plane. So stick around for that, you'll be surprised. Oh, it is German, not American. So yeah, as you can see, the 109G line. I did the 209A review yesterday, so now we're doing the 1092, not 1056. That's a heavy fighter, but yes. The MEP 1092. It was developed in 1943 based on technologies introduced in the ME 262. Several versions were offered. Now, I don't know for sure. Oh wait, no, never mind. I was gonna say that I think it was an attempt to make the 109G jet powered, but that's not true. As far as I'm aware, that's the 109TL project, where they literally just removed the propeller and strapped on some jet engines to it. Um, so yes, I guess this is a different project potentially, but in the information they learned about the 262, they use that newfound information to create this monster. And yes, it really is a monster. It is really small. um, but let's run down the statistics and jump into gameplay. So, powerful autocannon armament effective against aircraft with high survivability. So let's take a look at the guns real quick. You get 420s. I'll pop it up right now. These 20s go on a multitude of German planes, so you should be well familiar, well acquainted with them by the point that you get this plane, unless this is your first German Tier 9. Um, but yes, they do go on many, many planes. If you look at it, you got four of these 20s, one, two, three, and four. They're all mounted right in the hub. They're really small guns, like for 20s, they're like barely even a little notch in the plane. But yes, they're there. I assure you, they are definitely there. And yes, these guns go on the 262 HG2 and also the Tier 10 of in this line, the MEP 1101. Now, I thought they were the same guns as the Batwing, so let's check that out real quick. It does look similar. 200, yeah, they are the same guns. The only difference is it's MG 213C, MG 21320, but essentially, statistically, they are identical. So, yes, that's why even though it only says it goes on the 262 HG2 as well, it also goes on the Batwings. And what does the HG3 get? Oh, it gets 30s. Oh, okay, yes, they get 30s. Yes, yes. Um, but yeah, these guns are crazy, crazy good. And I'm pretty sure these are not the fully upgraded guns on the HG2, but yeah, let's check that out real quick because I am curious. Uh, is it this one? Yes, it is this. It's the best 20s that you can get on the HG2. But you're not gonna want it on a heavy fighter. You really want the 30s on the HG2. So okay, for all intents and purposes, it's the same guns as the Batwing. So if you've played the Batwing, then you know how the guns behave. But the difference is the Tier 8 Batwing gets 2 of these guns, the Tier 9 Batwing gets 3 of these guns, and the Tier 10 Batwing gets 4 of these guns. You get 4 of these guns at Tier 9, and I think that's what makes it super powerful. These 20s are legendary. They are really, really, really good 20s. I mean, just take a look at the firing range on it. Well, 2,600 feet on 20s? Yeah, that is exceptional, guys. That is really good. And it feels good when you're using it. The, the thing is, these guns fire really fast and they have really high burst damage. Um, but the issue is they overheat very, very, very quickly. But that's not an issue because they cool down just as fast. So when you're playing this plane, you have to shoot it in bursts. You fire in burst, and then you let off the trigger, and you watch the counter go all the way back down. Don't fire early, or you're not gonna really get much potential out of this plane. You gotta wait till they fully cool down, and then you open fire again. Just burst damage and take them out. It's really about that simple. You can destroy most planes in just two bursts, unless it's a bomber or a heavy fighter or a GA. But for all intents and purposes, you can knock them out pretty fast too. So um, these guns are amazing. But enough waffling on that. Let's go to the next point. It's got low survivability, vulnerable engine. Take that as you will. I see it all the time. So yeah. It's got high airspeed, accelerates quickly when boosting. So if you've played this line at all, which if you're at tier 9, you probably have played the line somewhat, you'll know that this line does have very good engines, and this plane is no exception. It is quite speedy at a top speed of 547, and it's not super great, but it's definitely not bad. It's really quite good. Um, Optimum airspeed 341, but yeah, and max dive speed over 600 miles per hour. Yeah, you really do have a nice engine. Um, but it takes a while to get that best engine because there are two other engines in between. So it does take a little while to get that fully upgraded. But yes. And then it accelerates quickly when boosting. It does have a nice boost. I'm pretty sure it's like 8 seconds or something, and it's fighter boost, so it's definitely a good boost. And you can make that work pretty well. It's very flexible in that regard. And then it's got good maneuverability in horizontal turns. If you look at it, it's got 10 seconds to turn 360 degrees. It's not the top tier for that. 10 seconds isn't like exceptional, but it's by no means bad. Yeah, it's definitely not bad for tier 9. You have like the Yak 19 is going to outturn you. The KI 162 1, that's going to outturn you. Um, but really, there's not a whole lot of other planes that can outturn you. 10 seconds is pretty decent. So, yep, keep that in mind. And then, yeah, definitely good maneuverability. If we go look at this, it's very effective at intercepting aircraft at high altitude. Well, that's kind of standard for the line. 8,200 optimum altitude, definitely great, and you can make use of this altitude. But typically you don't have planes flying that high, so you don't normally need to make too much use of it. And currently, there's no bombers at that tier, unless you're in a favorable matchup where there's tier 8s and you get RB-17s. But essentially, you're not gonna have to deal with bombers unless you get those favorable matchups. So yeah, and you'll obliterate RB-17s. There's no question about that. They will die very very quickly. Um, but yeah, um, yeah. Anything else that goes up high with you, they'll either stall or you'll have better turn rate or something. You can usually deal with them pretty well at high altitude. Now, before we go off this panel real quick, I do want to show one thing. The stock airframe actually looks significantly different. So, yeah, I mean, when I first got this plane, I was like, what the heck? Okay, well, I mean, it looks a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. And then all of a sudden, you get this airframe, and it's like, whoa, whoa, we're taking it to a whole new level there. And this looks real slick. It really does. Um, but the tier 10, if you look at the tier 10 real quick, it does look more similar to the stock airframe on the 1092. So, um, yeah, just something to think about, I guess. Kind of cool. Um, and yeah, that's about it. Let's jump to the service department real quick. I don't have universal ammo because I can't afford it. No fire extinguisher, standard. Gyroscopic gun sight, you definitely want the extra accuracy. You always want extra accuracy, even though they're hub mounted, which is very nice. Accuracy you should always go for. Then I went with lightweight airframe and control surface adjustment trim to give myself increased maneuverability. I really do like that setup. I think it works really well. If you prefer speed, if you want to max it out for that, then engine tuning and aircraft polish coverings, then yeah, that would work for you. Um, or any combination of anything. I mean, make it the way that you want. I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm just showing you what I do. So take it as you will. There is no free paint scheme that comes with this plane, unfortunately. It's just bare bone, and that means you don't get your beta sticker. Real shame. All you get to see is my lovely clan sticker. Not much I can do about that. Now, I actually do have my pilot in this plane rather than my tier 10, just because I prefer this plane to the tier 10. The tier 10 is in no way bad, but this plane just outdoes it tier for tier. There's no way around it. This plane feels really, really good. Um, Go with Marksman 1, Marksman 2. Oh, one more thing. This plane does very much feel like a 109E and a 109B. It's more like that play style rather than the F, the G, and the 209A. It has very much more of that traditional beginner of the line feel to it. So just keep that in mind when you're playing it. It goes back to its roots of the line, and I really do like that about it. It's what makes this plane so much fun for me. It's basically a 109E at tier 9, and it feels glorious. So we'll go with Marksman 1, Marksman 2, increased accuracy all the way. Then I went with Aerodynamics Expert to give myself increased maneuverability in turns. It makes the effectiveness of my equipment modules 40% better. Then I'll probably go with Aerobatics Expert after that. Alternatively, if you guys didn't want to set it up like for maneuverability, but you want to do for speed, you could go with Engine Guru 1 and 2 and Aerodynamics Expert, and you will have the same effects, because the Aerodynamics Expert also helps uh, the engine buffing equipment modules. So go with that, you'll be good. And cruise flight also would probably be a decent one if you're doing engine power. But with that being said, I think it's about time to jump into some gameplay. This is a bit more recent gameplay, so you don't have to worry about that. And I really do think you'll be impressed with the score that I am able to achieve in this plane. Or maybe you won't, because this plane is just overpowered. But I don't normally see super high scores at tier 9. And this was definitely a high score at tier 9. So I hope you guys are ready. Let's jump into some gameplay. Alright, and welcome to the gameplay section. So, we've gotten, and let's see, we have a missile base in the middle, we have some garrisons, so really, the only sector that matters in this battle is the missile base, so that's where I'm going. And it just happens to be in the middle of the map. Oh wait, I lied, I'm going to the garrison first. I just want to take a quick sector, in addition to the middle. It's free points essentially, because it's about as far as away from the enemy spawn as you can get, so it will take them a while to get over here, and if you can just snatch it up real quick, it's kind of free points. I have faith in our bots enough that the enemy won't be able to flip that missile base immediately, so I decided to just go to the garrison initially, which I think is always a fun and safe bet in the beginning of the battle. And as you can see, the 20s just do a ton of work. If you have the bat wings, you know how powerful those guns really are, but when you have 4 of them, there's nothing that competes with it in terms of firepower on a light fighter. It's unmatchable, untouchable, and I think that's the power of it, right? The 109E has that same feeling where there's just no firepower that can compare to it. And the engine power coupled with that and the altitude performance, it just makes for a really powerful plane, and it feels really good to fly. So we're getting on the tail of a heavy fighter at this tier, and it's just no issue whatsoever. Just hopping up on his tail, and he's gone, just like that. Goodbye. So now we're flipping around, and yes. We got a couple planes up high. Yak 15 probably isn't performing very well, and neither is that J7W2, so he just dies very quickly. It does seem to me, I didn't see the battle at the beginning, but I think it's a fully tier 9 battle, so keep that in mind as well. We got a Starfire right there, and he died very quickly because he doesn't have a very good altitude performance. You can make that, if you have knowledge of that, you can make use of it pretty well. Had a heavy fighter on my tail, so it's a good thing I pulled away. We have an LA 160 up here as well. Oh, we collide with him. Okay, I guess that's one way to deal with him, right? So, yeah, I wasn't intending to do that, but hey, I mean, I lived, so it turned out pretty decent for me. Yak 19 is up at this high. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a very good altitude performance, so dealing with him at this altitude is not an issue. And we come over here. We got a P.228, and okay, well, I'm not going to survive a ram to that, but hopefully I damaged him at least a little bit, so I'm telling you, that's the only way bots can deal with me is to shoot me or to ram me. They can't kill you by ramming or by shooting at you. They'll just ram you because that's the only way they know. So, well, I killed most of the targets in the middle anyway, so it's not like I'm missing out on too much. Now I'm gonna go over here and deal with GA, I guess. If I were to redo this, I'd probably go to the center. It's probably a little bit more important at the moment. But we are. One other thing to mention, they do have a human GA. It's that IL-40, not the one I'm going after, but the other one that's over this sector. He is a human, so I will show you either. We'll see if we can actually win against a human GA. So at tier 9, we'll see. We'll see. So he's going into the missile base. He's probably gonna flip it, no issue. It really doesn't look very good for us. We're 4 sectors down to 1. Certainly not a good situation by any means. It's not good. We got a couple planes over here, so ME-410s. Let's just knock them out because I think we can take the sector if we take these 2 planes out. And at this point, it really is very important that we take sectors. 2 garrisons are just about in our favor, so we do need to flip those ASAP. So we do flip that garrison, which is good. Now hopefully our bots will take the other garrison, or this will be a very terrible battle. So let's see. Oh, he's trying to go head on with me. I'm not about to ram again. So I flip around, wait for him to just barely overpass me, and I'm right set up for being on his tail, so put a couple rounds into him. Probably won't quite kill him, but let's see if we can get on his tail. And oh, yep, takes a couple cycles, but you're seeing how I'm kind of pumping the trigger button where I burst and I stop and let it cool down, and I burst again. You do have to use that firing style, or you're just not going to be very effective with these guns. Because when you're trying to fire when they're overheated, they are useless. They are absolutely 100% useless. So just keep that in mind. We have an ME-410, so he's over here, and he's gone, just like that. Easy, easy, easy. So we still don't have the missile base. I'm not even going for the missile base. Maybe a misplay, but I'm just trying to flip caps quickly. Just going where the wind leads me, and the P.228 led me over here. So I came over here, I took it because I was here. I wasn't gonna just not take it, so we have that going on. Now we're going into the middle. The P.228 is here again, and I really don't like this guy. He's rammed me before, and he had tried going head on with me, so I'm gonna get rid of him as soon as possible. Goodbye, Avenger. I'm pretty sure I killed him earlier, but I guess just now I got Avenger. Okay, whatever. But now I'm over the missile base, so I'm going to try to take it. Although there's not really a whole lot of targets over here, so this is not a good situation. But a Yak 19 decides to come head on, and he starts doing his stupid bot dodging, so we're going to light him on fire. Because I am using universal ammo in this battle, so you can tell by the blue ammo type in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. So yes, this was back. This is kind of an old replay. This is back when I actually had credits from the 7 days of premium account time that I got for free. So yeah. Now we have a KI-162-1. He's got better maneuverability than me, but if I can kill him before he tries to really start spinning with me, then I'll be okay. Or if he's just stupid like he's displaying himself to be. It is just about squall line, so I do get knocked out. But it is better to get knocked out now than later. So we'll make it work. I have Winged Legend already. and it's a pretty close game right now. I'm a little bit frustrated that I got knocked out because um, this is a very tight game, and anytime that I'm not in the battle, it's just painful, and a 30-second respawn timer does hurt quite a bit. But what are you going to do? We do have 4 sectors now, which is super good. And I'm back in the battle before squall line, so still super even. One squall plane each. So now it's really, I gotta take out that human GA. If I ever see him, he does need to go down, or it's gonna be quite a nightmare. He's flipping caps quite quickly, not. It's basically as fast as we are. So, and this missile base just keeps flipping in power, which is not very good. We got a pirate going up and low health, and so killing him is my top priority. He's gone, which is good. Now we have a J7W2. He's doing vertical loops, which he's not very good at. The plane's not super great, so full health to no health in a matter of split seconds with these 20s. It's just, it really is a very powerful firepower armament. We got P.1092 up here. I really don't like this guy, so I'm going to try to knock him out. But this LA-160 is kind of stalling, and that 228 is getting away from me. So after I put a couple rounds into him, I'm going to try to knock out this LA-160, and we just about kill him, just about get him, and boom, gone. Got him. Great stuff indeed. We got a Yak-19 going head-on. And then he decides maybe going head-on with this plane is not a good idea, so he starts doing some evasive maneuvers, which actually saves him for the time being, but then ignores me, and so he dies. The enemy has 4 sectors at this point. Certainly a very tight game, but I'm not about to give up yet. We're not done yet. The battle's not over. And I do not throw in the towel, not yet. So let's see if we can take this missile base back. We do have more points than they do, but they have 4 sectors. We have 3 sectors, or 1 sector, so we do need to make some adjustments. He's gone, which is good. Let's see if we can squall this P.228 so that he's permanently out of the battle. And look at how easy it is to knock out heavy fighters. This plane, there's no plane in the game that can tank the power of this plane. So yep, it's a very tight game. We got a couple planes over here. That air defense plane is so far over, out of his bounds, that he's getting shot by AA gun from this missile base. It's pretty funny, honestly. That guy's almost dead. Fire takes him out. So nice job. And that is game. I would go and knock out that human GA, but the battle is over. So we end with a score of 22,000 personal points in a Tier 9 matchup. And they had a human GA at Tier 9 on the enemy team. It is possible, guys, to solo at Tier 9 and win against human GAs. I'm telling you, it is possible. You just need a 22,000 personal point game. I mean, how hard is that, right? I'm only joking. But yeah, if you have the right plane for it, soloing at high tiers isn't really an issue. If you have 2 planes flying, or 2 players, 2 good players flying this plane at the same time, unless the enemy has human GAs, you'll be pretty much golden. There's not really anything the enemy can do. This plane is exceptional. It really does feel like a 109E at tier 9. And I love it. I love the 109E, love the 109B, and this plane just does everything you want it to. So that was the result. Nice game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please consider leaving a like, and more importantly than likes, just leave a comment down below. I love to read those comments. And with that being said, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and have a great day.